Body Bags, 1993. Okay, a lot of talented people were involved in the making of this film. Um, it ended up being a horror anthology movie for Showtime. What they were doing is, okay, you know the 80s were huge with the horror boom and the home video boom. And the early 90s gets shit on for its horror movies, basically just because it had the hangover of the 80s and not too many memorable horror movies are remembered. But one of the biggest hits was Tales from the Crypt, the HBO horror anthology TV show based on the EC horror comics that they resurrected and brought to HBO. That was a huge hit. And Showtime's answer to that was Body Bags, 1993. They were going to turn it into a show. They got a bunch of talented people to do the pilot. And then in production, they decided to just make it as a movie instead. And John Carpenter himself ends up playing the host, the Tales from the Crypt type character, in the morgue. Basically, it's the body bags that come to the morgue, and he'll tell stories about how this one died and that one died. And there's 3 different tales. The first one's directed by John Carpenter himself. The second one's directed by Tobe Hooper, the legend. And then the third one, I don't remember who's that's directed by. But either way, and they even have cameos. Like I was saying, John Carpenter plays the more ghoulish character. I love those scenes, even though he's terrible. They're hilarious. So the first story involves a maniac who escaped from an asylum in Haddonfield in the same world as Michael Myers, Prometheus style, kind of like how Prometheus was in the same world as Alien. So he sets this in Haddonfield, and it's called the gas station, and basically the psycho kills the gas station attendant, and some people show up at the gas station, he ends up trying to kill them, obviously. And then the second one involves more sci-fi with David Warner as the doctor in a flick where it's kind of more sci-fi than horror. I don't want to give away that one. But then the third story involves the legendary Mark Hamill who played Luke Skywalker. He does a role where basically he gets the eye of a psycho killer, of a murdered psycho killer. He has surgery on his eye. And obviously he gets those traits a la Frankenstein or an Edgar Allan Poe type story. So those were the 3 stories that they tell. And then you also get to see John Carpenter play as an actor role, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to give the movie like C+. It isn't that great, but it's watchable. If you're a horror fan, it's kind of a must watch just to say that you've seen it. And that's pretty much my thoughts. This was my horror movie marathon continuation. This is JBM. I'm doing a bunch of horror movie discussions, trying to upload a video every day. If you have a request for a movie, and if it's on YouTube or if I could find it, I'll try and watch it and review it and discuss it. And tell me your thoughts on this movie. I'm out.